My name's Danny Venna, coming to you live from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Today is August 27, 2016. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. In 12 hours from now, DocKarate goes live. Dial 646-716-6825 to call into the program. Tonight, we're going to have a special program. Reggie Kyle Forrest, the co-host of the program, is going to be on location in Georgia, working out with Scotty Schultz Sensei. And that what we're going to try to do tonight is bring you some information about some of the katas, whatever the guys want to pick. I don't know whichever kata they want to talk about. I know that they went down there to work on some weapons katas, so stay tuned. We might be talking about a weapons kata tonight. DocKarate comes to you every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And again, to call into the program, dial 646-716-6825. And if you'd like to be a featured guest on the program, shoot me out a message at this is my email address, kudan59@gmail.com. Send me a message, send me a bio, a little short bio, so I can build up the marquee. And if you want, send me some pictures so I can have a slideshow going on the marquee for you to highlight your journey. Pictures are always great. So if you could send me those two things, we can have you as a featured guest on the program. And to be a featured guest, all you got to do is make a phone call. That's it. Dial 646-716-6825. I'll see you on the switchboard. I'll go into the back office. I'll label your call, and I'll know that you are our featured guest. You're calling in. And then, of course, if you would spread the link that I build for you, take that, copy it, and then paste it around all the social media that you're involved with, all the groups and everything. Send it to your family, friends, and students. And then we'll have a nice, showing for the show that people will know that you're on. And you'll come talk to us just like you're making a phone call. Talk to us about your martial arts journey. No hard questions, no politics, no religion, none of that stuff. We'll just talk about your martial arts journey. If you have any events that you're running, workshops, seminars, tournaments, banquets, anything that you're doing, come onto the program, give us the website, tell us the date, the time of the event, and we'll build awareness for your event. It is a free service brought to you by Doc Radio International in association with our magazine, docmagazine.net. So this is like the online portion of the magazine that is the audio and in this case video portion of the magazine. We can take your website, put it on the marquee if you send it to us, so that people, when they're listening to the show and they pull up the marquee, your website will be right there for them. So send us the bio, of course, contact information. We'll put it right on the marquee for you, and then we'll also advertise whatever links that you may have that have the events linked to it or whatever you're doing. If you have a student in the school that likes to write, submit the articles to us, just like you would do when I give the shout outs at the top of the program to worldwidedojo.com, Miss Dana Stamos. She also is a big advocate in children writing articles, and if she sees that the article has some valuable content, she'll publish it on the website. If you have a student in the school that likes to make a video of them practicing, let them show their forms, let them show their routines. Make the video, submit it to us right on that email address, kudan59@gmail.com, kudan59@gmail.com. Submit it, and we'll get it out there for you. The online magazine is available. Just go to the website www.docmagazine, docmagazine.net. It's an online magazine. It's just like the old days when you used to go to the newsstand and purchase, Black Belt magazine, Kung Fu magazine, Official Karate, all these magazines. Um, Now you can do it without killing a lot of trees, making all that paper. Go right online and see and read some of the articles that are being submitted. Click on some of the tabs, look around. We have some books for sale. Good stuff. Martial arts are becoming more and more popular in the United States. Get in your car or walk around your local neighborhood and you'll see probably one or two martial arts establishments in the strip malls. So down here in North Carolina, we have it pretty much covered where, excuse me, no matter where you go around here, there's a martial arts school, and many of them. So the popularity is growing. We want to bring you quality information about schools, not only in our backyard, but no matter where the school may be. And because we are an international radio station, we also bring you schools from overseas. So if you should be traveling abroad and you want to do a workout, of course we have Andy Sloan Sensei stationed in the Navy on the island of Okinawa. So if you want to go to Okinawa and practice karate, we can certainly let Sensei Sloan know you're coming, and we can get arrangements made for your arrival. Things like that. That's why we ask you to call into the program. Because on the program, it's about the history. It's about where we come from, the style or the concepts and principles that we practice. But we also like to cover current events. Like I said, if you're running a tournament, a workshop, a seminar, a one-on-one, we want to know about that because that gets the word out there that you are a working martial artist, and that's what the program is all about. We present to the community working martial artists. That's how simple it is, and all you have to do is call 646-716-6825 at our regularly scheduled times, and you can be live on the programs. There are three main programs. Wednesday night, we have Modern Combat Masters, hosted by Professor Darryl Sargent. I am the co-host and executive producer of that program. That program airs every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. To call into that show, the number is the same, 646-716-6825. The next up is on Friday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, making the connection with Soki Hassan Khalik and his co-host, Rashid Hanji. Call into that program, same number, 646-716-6825. Saturday nights, as we mentioned on this little live broadcast, Saturday nights is DocKarate. We air every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I am the host of that program, and my co-host is Reggie Kyle Forrest of Team Kia in Lexington, North Carolina. That program, to call into that program, same number, 646-716-6825. To be a featured guest on any one of the three programs that I just mentioned, really all you have to do is call into the program. That's it. That's as simple as it gets. Make a simple phone call, 646-716-6825, and that's it. You're on the program. I'll see the number on the switchboard. I'll label the caller. In you go. Talk to us about your journey. Yes, on certain nights on DocKarate, we have featured guests. On a night like tonight where we're doing it on location, by all means, call into the program. We can always talk to you as the program is developing because it's on location. You never know what's going to happen. So call in, interact with us, Talk to us about your journey as we're talking live, bringing to you, let's say, some information about a Kabado Kata. Maybe talk to us about the experience that you may have with the Kabado Kata that you practice. I mean, it's that simple, folks. It's that easy to communicate with us now. And again, we want to promote it in such a way that it is the replacement for the paper magazine. And as Sokia-san Kalik has alluded to many times on the program, you get to hear the voices of those seniors, masters, and grandmasters right out of their mouth. So you can hear the passion in their voice. You can hear the enthusiasm and how they bring to you their description of their journey. So call into the program, 646-716-6825. Tonight, as I said, we're going to have an on-location kind of deal going on where I'm going to be in North Carolina. My co-host is going to be in Georgia. And we're going to be bringing you some information on the spot. What's happening right now, okay? And that's how we serve the martial arts community, because it's first of all, Ishiru has celebrated 60 years of existence this year in 2016. 60 years. Our founder, 60 years ago, made an effort to start teaching under that name, Ishiru Karate. And 60 years later, you have all of these practitioners now around the world perpetuating that legacy, that curriculum, those ways, those means of the Shimabukuro sensei family and background and teachings, the knowledge in which he gained from his senseis to pass on to us from Okinawa. And his greatest thrill was in those 60 years that Americans would become familiar with Okinawan culture and Okinawan customs. Learn the way of the people of Okinawa. Learn how we live. Learn why we are labeled as the one culture that lives the longest. We have the longest longevity of life. Well, there's a reason for that, folks. They are islanders. They live a life that have a great work ethic. They live in a way that is so humble and natural that their customs and their ways and means are the reason why that they live the longest of all the people on the planet. So look into their ways and means, and that's what Shimabuku Sensei wanted the American people to grasp, the Okinawan culture and the Okinawan ways of their behaviors. So in those 60 years, the Marine Corps, they were very much involved in the learning of the curriculum and then bringing the curriculum back to our shores. And then with this highlight, do your research on Okinawan culture. Go all the way back. Find out what Okinawa was, a long, long time ago, when people came to its shores from all over the place, from China, from all over. And what that did to the people, what that influence did to the people. The popularity of the island, because it was a great place to port. It was a great port. And it's an island, there's water all around it. So it makes it easy for ships to, come in from traveling abroad. So Okinawa became a great place to trade and a great place to share ways and means from other places. So as it's been described to me, Okinawa is like a melting pot for martial arts in the world. A lot of people go to Okinawa to exchange views and how things work, the processes of the martial sciences. things that happen in martial arts and what people practice: empty hand, weapons, breathing, the conditioning, all of the things that go into being a martial artist. They practice and they sort of experiment with on the island of Okinawa. And Okinawa is pretty big, and it goes, throughout the whole island and all of the little islands to the south. Knowing that this is like a melting pot of martial arts, there's a kata that we practice called Shinto. Now, Ishinryu today, I forgot to mention that too, because it's not really part of the Doc Radio International Network. It is sponsored by the USIKA and Team Kia. There's a program on Sunday nights called Ishinryu Today. That's on Blog Talk Radio, just like Doc Radio International is. And this program airs 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday night. The host of the program is Renshi Kyle Forrest, and his co-host is his brother, Senpai Chris Forrest. And on that program, I also help executive produce, because I build the marquees for the guys. And they rely on me to schedule some guests and, coordinate the program. But they're getting real good at it now, and they've been around since January 2016. So it's 8 months that they've been broadcasting, and every Sunday night, 6 o'clock. I don't have the number in front of me for that program, Ishinryu Today. But if you go on to Blog Talk Radio, just type in blogtalkradio.com on your browser. And then when the search bar comes up on Blog Talk Radio, put in Ishinryu Today, Kyle Forrest, and his list of programs will come up, along with his main page on Blog Talk Radio. And you'll be able to see some of the archive shows that have happened just recently and go back to the very beginning. Because all the shows are archived. Even on Doc Radio, all our shows, we've been around for 4 years on Doc Radio, we're working on 5 years, are all archived. We have almost 3,000 shows on that are archived on the cloud. So it's as I said, it's the audio portion of the magazine. And because Renshi Forrest has been inspired to document now his training, his lineage, his students, his dojo, the tournaments he runs, all these things, he invites people onto his program on Sunday nights. And what we talk about there is basically the same thing. We have featured guests come on the program. We have other senseis come on the program, talk about the katas, talk about tournaments, talk about competitions, some of the intricacies of the katas, like the bunkai and stuff like that. So what we're doing is we're building archive shows that will serve the community in years to come, that will give maybe a young practitioner an idea of why you do this kind of movement in a kata like Shinto. Why you would make a defensive posture like that. And we talk about things like that on the program. So, like I said, tonight we might be talking about some weapons katas. And you never know what's going to happen on a live program. It just evolves. It just happens. So that's what we're looking forward to, and that's what we're offering you as the sensei of your school or as the instructor of your school. Come on to our program, share your martial art with us. We are not, yes, we call the program DocKarate, and that is because in the name of Supreme Grandmaster Dr. Moses Powell, he was very much an advocate of karate, and he studied karate, okay? Even though in his heart and in his performance, he loved the jiu-jitsu and the jiu-jitsu te. That's what Doc molded his study around. But that's not to say that he didn't study a plethora of martial arts over the course of his lifetime. So, One of his instructors was Professor V. Look into the background of Professor V, and you'll see that not only did Professor V like karate, but he also studied it. So we gave a highlight of DocKarate, but we are not impartial to any martial arts science. We don't care where it's from, who practices it. We want to hear about it. And it's a matter of fact, we've mentioned on the program many times. Yes, we bring to you some of the senior masters and grandmasters of the arts that we know about in the world today. But we really want to be able to serve the community and talk to the community about martial arts that not everybody knows about. For instance, we've had on the programs, and I say that plural because on Modern Combat Masters, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, Making the Connection, Sokya-san Kalik, 8 o'clock Friday nights, Eastern Standard, 9 o'clock Saturday nights, Eastern Standard on DocKarate, and then of course on Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, issue today. We've had people from all different styles. Capoeira, that's one of the styles that maybe is coming up into the world. 2016, getting more and more popular, more and more people are understanding what that is. Well, that's a martial arts science that we want to bring to you more and more of those ways and means. We've had Kumu Michelle Manu on the program from Hawaii, and she has talked to us about some of the ways and means of her people. These are martial arts that not everybody, when you go down the street, will you see signs for. So we're working on it. We're working on bringing you those types of programs. They are special. We do advertise them. Just look on social media, especially my Facebook page and groups that I've built to spread the links around, such as Modern Combat Masters, DocKarate, Doc Radio. There's been a lot of links in groups, and there's a lot of people now in those groups, thousands of you. And to know that we're downloaded over 175,000 times, those numbers don't lie. People are listening to our program when I go to workshops, tournaments, events, shared workouts. People are telling me, Sensei, we're hearing your programs. Thank you for doing that, because you're bringing us some information that inspires us, gets us thinking. Because when we talk about bunkai, sometimes we will take it past the initial, what we tell the Q ranks for a basic explanation. Let's face it, when I teach you how to throw a punch, throwing that punch and landing that punch and building the components to deliver that punch, the list is long. There's a lot of components that go to just delivering a simple battle punch and what that requires. And that's one of the first things that we have to teach in the Ishinru curriculum, because we do build our punch a little bit different. Notice we put the thumb on top. We have this retraction value, an element and concept built in to our delivery, which is really a modern and innovative way of delivering a martial arts strike. Because when you do it with your legs, when you do it with your hands, when you do it with your elbows, other surfaces of your hands that you deliver strikes and blocks with, now become all strikes. And if you have the finesse to be able to parry a strike and use that entry right there, that's what martial arts is all about. So having said that, what we're looking to do here with this short video clip is to bring you information, one, about our new program. DocKarate is a new addition to Doc Radio International. They've given us a Saturday night spot, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And what we're looking to do with that time, we have for 2 hours, by the way. So do the other programs. Soki-san at 8 o'clock Friday nights is 2 hours. And then, of course, our program, Modern Combat Masters, on Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard, is also for 2 hours. So, having said that, that's 6 hours on DocKarate, and then add another 2 hours, 8 hours a week of direct commentary, in addition to our the audio portion of our magazine. Bring you information about current events, history, and all different types of martial sciences. So that's the recap of what we're trying to bring to you every week. Quality programming, part of a magazine, which I think is very innovative, 2016. We're using our tools. We're utilizing the tools and becoming the standard for how martial arts will be presented to the people. And take it from me, I'm in martial arts 44 years. In those 44 years, what martial arts has taught me, you cannot put a price on. You will not be able to replace with any other type of activity. And it keeps you young, folks. It keeps the mind active. You're constantly practicing waza, entries, exits, what you're going to do in that interval. So it constantly keeps the brain active, and active in very precise and minute intervals, so that you have, precise movements, and on time, being on time, even predicting, as Supreme Grand Master Dr. Moses Powell always said, anticipating a movement sometimes is the element of surprise to the attacker. If he's going to attack, he's going to attack, and he or she, and if that happens, especially if it's a female, you don't want to hurt somebody, but you do want to put them in a non-recovery position that says, continue your behavior, and you will suffer the consequence. And when they feel what the consequence is building up to be, a rational person will say, okay, stop. And that's what it's all about. We're not, I tell my parents of the children that I train, when they're young, yeah, we teach them the waza because we have to. It's part of the curriculum offering. But more importantly, what we teach the youngsters is perseverance, character building, self-esteem, about how they feel about themselves, confidence, self-confidence, how they conduct their posture, how they go out into the world and say what they say with conviction, knowing that when they communicate with others, I know this. The skill sets here, I was taught these skill sets. I can do these skill sets. And that's what it teaches them, when they get looked at by other instructors come up to them and say, listen, when you do this, when you do this, when you do this, I'd like to see this, I'd like to see that, the breathing component, the posture element, all of these things, all of these genuine, wholesome qualities that kids need. Remember, kids need to be paid attention to. They're our future. We must build our future very strong, with good integrity. You must have undying perseverance. You must be willing to accept any challenge, big, small, or indifferent, and how they deal with it, how they deal with the challenges in life is how they grow up. It's how they get through life with a lot of positive energy instead of a lot of negative energy. So that's what we're here about. We're trying to achieve and aspire to be warrior priests, where we can turn darkness into light, no matter what. No matter what. No matter what you put in front of us, our job is to preserve and protect. And the way we do that is we use martial sciences to give us the immediate response, the immediate flinch response. But then, of course, because of that wisdom, you learn what they call the hard and the soft in martial arts. There's a hard aspect and there's a soft aspect in martial arts. And as you grow in martial arts, the soft aspect grows in you, and so does the hard aspect. And how you deploy those, how you balance and deploy those is based on your martial arts journey and what you've learned and how you've been taught. For me, I've been taught by the best. There was no better instructor on the planet than Sensei Ed McGrath. He was one of the smartest people on the planet. He had a good understanding of how things worked, and he was a practical man. Do this and I do that. So, what better instructor for you to learn from than that? And I was privileged and lucky enough to have met him and trained under his tutelage. He had a great instructor as well, Sensei Don Nagel. He picked my sensei when Sensei Nagel passed away. Picked my sensei to continue his work, and same thing for me. When my sensei passed away, my sensei picked me to continue his work. So, preserve and protect. That's what it's all about. And when you come to a school, any one of the schools that we practice with, these are some of the concepts and principles you're going to learn. And that's why we have the radio programs, because the radio programs give you the, as I said before, you get to hear from the senior masters and grandmasters their voice and how their passion comes through in their voice. It's very important. It's different than reading a magazine article. You can write the words, but then it's up to the reader to put the inflection into the voice. What did he mean by that when he said that? And you get that with a live broadcast because, again, all of our broadcasts, we have done some shows where on holidays, we've done interviews that have been pre-recorded. For instance, Andy Sloan Sensei, he's in Okinawa. And we've captured his voice, the audio portion of his voice, and loaded that up. And then we've broadcasted that on days when, like let's say the 4th of July, when we need a day off. We're celebrating with our family because it happens to land on our show date. So we have done that before. We do have access to being able to, and that's another thing. If you're overseas, we can do that for you because of the time difference. We can use like a Google Hangouts, which is a free service, capture your voice, the audio portion of the broadcast, and load that up, transfer that, download that file onto Blog Talk Radio's server, and air it at our normal scheduled time. No excuses, folks. If you want to be a guest on the program, we can make it happen. We can make it happen. Technology is such today that we can tie you together no matter where you live on the planet. If you have access to the internet and a computer that can operate under these standards today, because everything has grown. I come from a time there were no public computers. Yes, the military may have had them, and government may have had them in the 50s, but it wasn't like it is today. And that's why we're taking advantage of this platform right here. We want to bring to you information that you can take advantage of. If you listen to my broadcast, I give shout outs to certain people every night at the top of the broadcast. Doc Radio International is one of them. Sifu Alan Goldberg is another. And Miss Dana Stamos. Those are three staples that I give shout outs to those people every time I'm on the air, because of what they do for the martial arts community. How they bring us together and what they do for us to take advantage of. We use the term above reproach. Outstanding effort. And again, with both of them, Sifu Goldberg and Miss Dana Stamos, they don't only do karate or kung fu, or they do everything. Every martial art that wants to show up at the Hall of Honors event is welcome. Doesn't matter what discipline you're from. It doesn't matter what concepts you practice. It doesn't matter, what country you come from. It doesn't matter. Show up and you're welcome. The camaraderie exists, folks. Go to the event. You'll see what I mean. Free seminars, just as long as you register and let them know you're coming. Free seminars up and down. It's a 3-day event, so a lot of activity. Miss Dana Stamos with Worldwide Dojo, and that's only one of our websites, the team's websites. If you go on to worldwidedojo.com and you start looking around, there are websites that you can take advantage of and let people know where your school is for free. Now, if that's not enough for you, again, if you have a youngster in your school that likes to write an article about their training and their experience, submit that to the team. Get it published, man. Once it's on the cloud, it's on the cloud forever. It will make that child have a conversation piece. Look, let me show you something. WorldwideDojo.com. Boom. Search. Here's my article. That's simple. And as time goes on, they can say, I wrote that article when I was 9 years old. And it's still on the cloud. It's still on worldwidedojo.com. If you go, Miss Dana Stamos was touched by the work that Dr. Barry Steinberg does. Him and his team, the Ride for Smiles program. Dr. Barry Steinberg is a student of Sensei Ed McGrath, of which he has studied over 50 years under Sensei, when Sensei was alive. So that has to give you an idea of, when we talk about the word loyalty. This man holds 3 PhDs. He's a full bird colonel in the United States Army, still active. He's a 9th degree black belt under Sensei Ed McGrath. So he's a Hanshi. Sure, legacy leader. Miss Dana Stamos was so touched by the video that was on the news that Sensei Barry was interviewed by one of the hosts of a news program. She published it on the Worldwide Dojo site. So if you were to go onto worldwidedojo.com and you type in Dr. Barry Steinberg, Ride for Smiles, the video comes up. Now that video has been on that website for years now. Dr. Barry Steinberg is still doing what he does with his team. And that's got to show you folks that that's a great resource. So again, submit to the team articles that the kids like to write. Even you, if you're an instructor and you want to write about your Kobudo practice or your empty hand practice or your whatever you're practicing, write about it, submit it to the team, and let's see if we can get it published. As you can see, I operate a home dojo. This is my dojo. This is where I teach martial arts, and I've done that all my life. I've always operated a home dojo. I always think that underground martial arts is what we talk about on the radio program all the time. You don't know how much of that is going on in the basements, in the garages, in the workshops, in the factories. My sensei taught in his factory. When he had financial trading technologies in Deer Park, Long Island, New York, my sensei taught in his factory. Hold on a second. Hello. What's happening? What's going on, buddy? Oh, we're good, buddy. We already have the situation under control. Especially when you talk about Hilton Head. Hilton Head is a place that our family's been going for maybe 2 or 3 decades now. So we're good when it comes to that down there. Thank you so much for calling, though. I really appreciate that. So, um, bringing you information about what's happening in martial arts. Again, it doesn't matter what style. We want to cover all different styles. We want to let the public know that some of these underground places, like my little home dojo here, uh, some of the finest martial arts on the planet get taught in places like that. It's nice to have a school. We had a school back home. Sensei McGrath and I, we opened up a dojo in Patchogue. We had a dojo in Sable at the Kyoto Dojo. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was being practiced there under Grandmaster Francisco Monsieur. He was gracious enough to build us a place for us to teach karate. He loved my sensei, so he allowed us in his dojo. And so we've had schools, we've had places to formally teach. When I say formally teach, with a store, where you have a store and you have a place to go. And some of the parents, when they drop their kids off here, feel that environment is a family environment. They see my family's in there, in the house. So nothing's going to happen to their kid when they're here. If anything, my wife's here. The 4 kids, they're all, monitors, if you will, to see if everything's okay. So we always have coverage that way, But we teach out of the house here. My sensei, Ed McGrath, used to come to my dojo all the time and work out with us. When we had that dojo in East Islip in my garage, that was a fine time for Sensei. He really enjoyed those nights and days that we spent there teaching the curriculum that he learned from Don Nagel. And we're very proud of that. Very proud of the response from the students, number one, and then, of course, their performance. We taught those kids well. A lot of senseis come in, and we also went a lot of places. We also took those kids, me and my wife, we took those kids a lot of places. Gregory, Vanessa, Tiffany, Joe Richter, Nick D'Amato. There were some other kids there that their names escape my mind. I am 57 now, going on 58, so excuse me if I forgot your name, but those were the kids that really spent a lot of time growing in the curriculum, and now have gone on to do what they did. So we're very proud of that. We're very proud that they became mommies and daddies, and have their own families now, and have their own decisions to make. And that, again, like I said at the top of this broadcast, 44 years of practice have gained me some good decision-making patterns. It's another reason why I like teaching out of my house. I get to teach the ones that I say yes to. I don't necessarily have to, because I have a public school, I don't necessarily have to take every student that comes to me. I do have the selection process of a 30-day trial period, which is free, and I offer that to everybody that comes here. You get 30 days to see if you want to do this, and I get 30 days to see if I want to do this with you. And you get to know a person pretty good over, the initial person pretty good over 30 days. You get to see their characteristics, their behaviors, how they learn things, and tells a lot about your character and integrity based on how you show up for class over those 30 days. Number one, are you prepared? Did you read your student manual that I give you when you come here for your meeting? Did you read that? Because if you read that, then you'll know how to be prepared for class when you show up. So if class starts at 6 o'clock and you show up at 6 o'clock, that tells me something. That tells me you didn't read your book. With no words communicated, I know you didn't read your book. Because in your book, it asks, if possible, for a 15-minute grace period. Let's face it, folks, if we're going to bow in at 6, we can't be putting our gi on at 6 o'clock. We have to be on the line facing the sensei, Tatsuo Shimabuku sensei, getting ready to bow. Kyosuke Shimabuku Tatsuo sensei, right? We got to bow at 6 o'clock. We can't be getting dressed at 6. So that tells me something, you know, and then we work on those character and integrity issues. Be habitual about that, and that's why we give 30 days. If you're constantly late for class, showing up at 6 o'clock when class starts at 6, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that because, see, I practiced under a sensei that asked for, he was gracious enough to ask for a 15-minute grace period. However, you know, sensei commanded respect. When somebody that, you know, you're studying under and then you get to admire or you already admire, when they ask for something, you usually give it to them. If you trust them. So, you know, being habitually late for class, again, says a lot about your character integrity. And then if you're not prepared over those 30 days, I have to keep going upstairs, getting you a gi or an obi or, you know, whatever you forgot, or your mouthpiece or your cup or your this or that, maybe it's not for you. Let's face it, martial arts may not be for everybody. Everybody should come in contact with it and know some sort of self-defense, whether you like it or not. But to study a martial art, it may not be for everybody. Certain things, you have to make a commitment, and that commitment can be very demanding. It's not a very profitable thing, so sometimes people can use martial arts for the wrong reason. They want to make money, and they just have a lot of students. Having a lot of students over time develops. I have a lot of students. But the students that I have are quality students. They are individuals, males and females, that have committed to the passion of learning. And it's in their hearts, it's in their mind, it's in their body, it's in their spirit. That doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. And when you have people that are dedicated to their study like that, then that rings through crystal clear. It's that simple. You're either sincere about it or you're not. There's no gray area. You can use martial arts for a lot of different things. Some people use martial arts for the pure fact of the aerobic aspect of it. They like to jump around a lot. They don't want to be martial arts. They could care if they're a white belt for the rest of their life. It's not about the rank to them. And I have students like that. I have students that come here to jump around just to stay in shape for their job. Some of them are corrections officers, some of them are law enforcement, some of them are in the military. So people use martial arts for different reasons. And that's the reason for the 30 days. To find out what you need from me as a trainer. You want to build your breathing capacity, and that's what you're all about, that you need to last when you're working out. This is a great spot for that. We do a lot of drills here. And we can do a lot of drills with you that will help you build muscle tone. Let's face it, I would lift weights, but they're just too heavy. All right. At my age now, lifting weights is very lightweight, many repetitions, and that's what keeps the body hard. That's the hard aspect of the martial art. So it's the protection aspect. You need to be able to protect yourself, and not always with a weapon in your hand. Sometimes you have to defend against a weapon, and you don't have a weapon, so you have to make one. That's how that works. And that's what martial arts is all about. It's just being creative and innovative. It's a never-ending search to be creative and innovative, because each fight is different. Each person's body mechanic and approach is different. Let's face it, some of the law enforcement that face characters that are on drugs, some of the drugs that they take, even if you hit them with a form of lethal, deadly force, they don't feel it because they're so hyped up on drugs. How do you stop an individual like that? There is no right or wrong answer. It happens at that moment. The decision you make at that moment is what will tell the story. That's what I did. Based on my training, that's what I did. Did it work? This was the outcome. So, you know, folks, the right and wrongs, we're scrutinized with everything that we do today, every decision that we make. We have to be careful. We have to be vigilant. We have to practice situational awareness. I always tell my children, when entering or exiting a building, know your outs. Don't walk in that building and not know where to go to get out of there. And maybe it's not the way everybody goes. Maybe you have to, make a way out of there that, not everybody goes to that door and you get crushed. So, situational awareness, especially in the dojo, we put obstacles in your way, blindfold you. In some exercises, make you hold your breath underwater. We try our best to prepare you not to be surprised. The elements of surprise can really hurt you in a fight. You do get frightened, folks. We are human. Once adrenaline gets released, how that takes over in our body is the story. So, DocKarate, every Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 646-716-6825. Call into the program. We invite you. You, listening to the program, we invite you. If you're a martial artist, if you're a parent looking to pick a school for your kid, call into the program. We're a worldwide broadcast. We can invite masters and grandmasters on from every corner of the globe to answer your question. Going on vacation to Europe, you want to practice martial arts, give us a call. We'll hook you up with a sensei overseas. We'll hook you up with an instructor overseas. We'll even have that instructor on the program so you can talk to them before you leave. That's the service we offer you. That's what we're looking to build here. That's the foundation that we want future generations to listen to know. Look at what these guys were doing back then. As primitive as it probably will be and appear to them, because their means and methods will be so much more futuristic. But we're trying. With the tools that we got, we're trying. And as the inheritor of my sensei's legacy and dojo, I'll do everything I can to perpetuate his name, Ed McGrath. I'll do everything I can to perpetuate the curriculum he taught me, that he received from Don Nagel, and that Don Nagel received from the founder. That's how that works. That's what we're all about. You come here to this school, I'm going to teach the things that my sensei taught me to you. I don't hold nothing back. I don't make nothing a secret. I've been told to leave certain dojo. The workout's over now. What do you mean? I said, we're going to work on the weapons now. Well, this is the secret bunkai that we're going to work on. Well, if it's Isshinryu 1 hard, there are no secrets. We wear our heart on our sleeve. We preserve and protect the heart on our sleeve. That curriculum is available and documented to everybody. Go on YouTube, you'll see all the masters and grandmasters doing the katas, the kabuto katas, explaining this and the bunkai and all that. It's all documented. There are no secrets. The curriculum is a public curriculum. And it was brought to us by the United States Marine Corps. So, enough of that. And that we run on the merit of Don Nagel Sensei and McGrath Sensei, and now the work that, all guys are doing. That's it. That's what we want to bring to you. And we're using this forum to reach out to you to come and see with your own eyes what it is. Whenever I go to another dojo and we work out, and it's my turn to go up there and give the sharing portion of the workout, the only thing I can say is that the people that are on deck, the questions that they ask, the way they practice it, shows you that they're interested, that they want more. And the more you do that, the more you get out there and do that, you're fulfilling the request of senseis at McGrath, Don Nagel, all the first-gen students. Go out and practice with others and show others what you know. That's it. Just show others what you know and let them receive it in any way, shape, or form that they wish to. Whether it helps them, doesn't help them, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Just go out and share it. And go visit people. Go work out. And that's it. Just go visit people and work out. No politics, no I did it this way, none of that stuff. Just go out there and do what you were taught. Do it. Don't talk about it, do it. And that's what we do. We go, that's why it's been so busy. 2016 has been very active down here. We have every weekend's booked. And now to close out the year, we have Sensei Advincula coming to North Carolina. November 2016, a first-generation student is having a seminar right here in North Carolina. And I'm with Richie Rosenthal Sensei, so I'm his guest. So when Sensei Advincula comes to the house, I'm going with Richie to go hang out with a first-gen. Hey, listen, I'm like a kid in the candy shop with this stuff. That man's, he touched the founder. The founder touched him. So when I shake hands with Sensei Advincula, I'm touching the founder. Folks, I never met the founder, but I've been around people that have touched him, and I've been touched by those people. So I've been touched by the founder. It's just that I never met him. But I've touched his energy. Yeah. So come on the program Saturday nights, Friday nights, Wednesday nights, Sunday nights. Come on the program. Come talk to us. Give us your take on things. Let us know what you're doing. We'll get it out there. Like I said, over 150,000 downloads. Those numbers don't lie. People are responding to our work. And I appreciate you watching this broadcast. Come on the program, please. Let's get the let's pick up the momentum and bring this new modern platform to the people and let them appreciate it in the way that they used to go to the newsstand and buy the magazine. When the new magazine used to come out, boom, they'd be right there. Let me get my copy. So let them be that way with this. Wednesday nights, it's 9 o'clock, boom, Modern Combat Masters on. Friday nights, 8 o'clock, Making the Connections on. You know? Saturday nights, 9 o'clock, oh, DocKarate's on. They gotta get that program in there. We've been listening to at class, where the whole class has listened to our broadcast because we had one of the masters and grandmasters on from their lineage. So, tune in. Thanks, folks. We'll see you back here the next time I make one of these broadcasts. Again, thanks for tuning in. Now I have to learn how to turn this thing off. I think it's in here. Thank you, folks.